I hope you can hear me, and I hope I'm live on the channel. Just give me a second to check on that. Okay, so I've created a new live by mistake. Okay. Okay, so I think we can start with this one. So the format of the session is going to be like, you can put your questions in the chat, and I will be answering all those questions one by one. So yeah, so meanwhile, while you post your questions, I would just like to give an introduction to those who do not know who I am. So I am Damini. I'm one of the co-founders at WeMakeScholars, and and I had been making videos for our YouTube channel, in the form of series LoanFlix, for making videos covering all the topics of education loans. Yeah, so in this session, I aim to answer all the questions with respect to secured loans or unsecured loans coming from students. Yeah, so keep posting questions. I can see, one of the comments have come out there. So keep posting questions. So this session is going to be about you can ask me questions on public sector banks, private sector banks, different countries, wherever you're planning to go to, and to see what kind of loan limits you can get, what kind of different options you have. I'll be happy to answer questions on all those things, and we will try to limit this session to about 40 minutes. So because I would get tired if we extend more than that. Yeah, so keep posting your questions, and looking forward to answering that. And just meanwhile we are waiting for the questions, let me just tell you that I wasn't active on YouTube for a couple of months. I'm not making videos. It's just because of two reasons. One, because I was kind of a little busy with the other work in the office, and also because I ran out of topics. So feel free to let me know the topics also which you want me to make a detailed video on in the comments section. Sure, so let's start taking questions. So first relevant question which I have got is from Harshit Patel, who is asking us, just a second. Yeah, so Harshit Patel, how much time Bank of Baroda takes to pay fees to college in Canada from approved education loan? So Harshit, now the process of paying the fees, which is called as the disbursement. So after your loan is sanctioned, you actually have to do the mortgage creation. I'm assuming it's a secured loan because you mentioned Canada there. So I'm assuming the loan amount is more than 7.5 lakhs, and as it is from Bank of Baroda, so it has to be a secured loan. So if that's the kind of loan you have taken, then you'll have to do mortgage creation. Once the mortgage is created, that's when only after that you can initiate the disbursement request. Now when it comes to disbursement request, you actually fill a form and give it to the bank that this is the disbursement you require in the form of living expenses or in the form of tuition fee. Once that request is shared with the branch or with the processing unit, it takes about so if they initiate the money transfer, let's say if you give the request today, and then they would initiate the request on the next working day, and then the forex timeline is about 2 working days. So that's the time you have to measure. So if let's say you have a deadline that the university says by this time your fees should reach them, so make sure that you have like that 2-3 days gap after your mortgage creation. Okay, so next question is या अनसिक्योर्ड लोन के बारे में बताइए हिंदी में. So Sukh, I would try to keep the language as English in this session, because people from even southern states have joined us. So unsecured loan, there are a lot of videos on the channel which we have made about unsecured loans. the amount of unsecured loan, can go up to 75 lakhs also, if you are going to like top universities globally. For most of the foreign countries, you will be able to get at least 20 to 25 lakhs unsecured, until unless you're going to a negative listed country, like maybe Uzbekistan or Philippines for MBBS or something of that sort. For all the like regular countries where people go abroad, for higher education, you will be able to get about 20-25 lakhs unsecured, despite of your university ranking. But of course, the lender who has to give you money would definitely check a certain parameters. And when it is about unsecured loan, the major factors which are looked at is the university ranking. And if you're not going to like very top universities like top 200 or something, in that case even your parents income profile, your family income profile in general is looked at while giving you an unsecured loan. Okay. The next question is, ma'am, can my mother be the co-applicant if she is only a housewife? So Siddhi, how it happens is like, in a loan you have to put a co-applicant. So mostly accepted co-applicant is your parents, like father or mother. Now, the co-applicant for some banks has to be a financial co-applicant also. So otherwise, so the primary co-applicant need not be a financial co-applicant, right? So in case your bank is requiring a financial co-applicant, so generally in secured loans, they're a little relaxed when it comes to financial co-applicant. But let's say you're going for an unsecured loan to a private bank or an NBFC where the financial co-applicant is a major requirement. In that case, they would ask your mother to be a primary co-applicant, plus they will ask you to add someone who is earning as a financial co-applicant. Okay. Shubham Bajaj has written, I requested a call back 2 days ago, but no one has called me. So, Shubham, so generally, so today is a holiday, so if you have raised a request, I'm assuming yesterday or sometime, you would, mostly get a call on Monday or maximum Tuesday. So there is a lag of about 2 working days because of the team size we have and the number of requests we receive. So yeah, but don't worry. So if you have put the request, it won't go, it won't disappear somewhere. You would definitely receive a call back from financial officer, and not more than like 3 working days. Yeah. Okay. Indrajit Sarkar has mentioned, what if I don't have completion certificate for my flat? So Indrajit, now in certain states, it is important to have a completion certificate. So OC and CC are the major requirements when you have to mortgage a property in certain areas. I'm saying, even I think people in probably Indore and Bhopal would not, would know that the OC and CC is not a very insisting factor, but then in places like Pune and Mumbai, OC and CC is like a very important thing. So if you do not have that, you won't be able to mortgage that property. See, we can try if you yeah, if you can talk to your financial officer based on your location. We can try to see if there is a possibility to go without CC, but generally what I know, it is not going to be possible if you are from a place like Pune or Mumbai or something like that. So if your property is not qualified, you always have an option to check your eligibility for an unsecured loan. Yeah. Okay. Next question, Adnan. How much time does it take to sanction 35 lakhs amount of loan? So Adnan, to sanction 35 lakhs or to sanction 1 crore or 2 crores, the amount of time it takes is the same. The loan amount depends on 2 factors. One is, are you going for a secured loan which is with a collateral, or are you going with an unsecured loan? Now, if it is an unsecured loan, 7 to 10 working days is like the max which we would be taking if you put all your documents in place on day one. And within secured loan also, if you're going for a immovable property like a house, flat, land as a collateral, the timeline would be about 21 to 25 working days. But if you're keeping liquid security as a collateral, for example, fixed deposit or insurance policy or something which can be evaluated much more easily and quickly, in that case, the timeline will be about 15 working days. So I hope that was clear. Okay. For masters in UK, how much percentage is required? Okay. Okay, so Gurpreet, you have asked a question for your loan, how much percentage is required if you want to go for masters in UK. So irrespective of whether it's UK or US, I'm answering this question for everyone that banks look at that you should have at least 60% in the previous education. So let's say if you're going for masters, in bachelor's it should be at least 60%. If you're going for graduation, undergrad, then in 12th at least you should have 60%. But in a lot of cases, even with slightly less percentage, I'm just using the word slightly, like if it is in the range of like 55, 57 kind of thing, we had been able to help students get that loan approved by talking to the bank and by highlighting if their other factors of their profile are like better. So yeah, but if you're asking me in general, banks in their circulars they have written like 60% as the minimum. Okay. Ma'am, can I apply for education loan for my higher studies before my 12th finals? Yes, you can. So a lot of people, when they approach us for an undergrad loan, their 12th result is not declared by that time, because board results generally come around like May or June month, and then the visa process you have to start at least by May, and you need a loan sanction letter before that. So in that case, banks have a provision to sanction your loan even without having the result of your pre-final the last degree. So with the pre-final results, they can go for it. So for example, if you're going for undergrad, they would take your 11th marks and try to proceed with that and give you like a provisional sanction. If you are, let's say, going for your masters and you have not got result of your undergrad, then they would take the results up to pre-final year and go ahead with that. So I hope it is clear to you. Okay, the next question is uh, okay, again Indrajit have written, what if I don't have completion certificate? Okay. Sorry guys, the questions are going a little up and down because like too many of them. Okay, ma'am, my father works in Zomato delivery in Kolkata. I have a property of 20 to 25 lakh. I need a loan of 21 lakh for studying in Canada. Can I get it? Of course, you can get it, Rishabh. So generally on the property value, you would be able to get about 100% loan. Now, when we are going for a secured loan, your father's profile, financial profile, can be evaluated, okay, on a case by case basis. I cannot tell you like because I do not have the information what is he earning through Zomato, and what is his ITR value, and whether he's filing ITRs at all or not, and what was he doing before that, his income history, and if he has any other loans. So all that information has to be evaluated, but with whatever information you have provided me, that on a property of 20-25 lakhs you want a loan of 20-21 lakh for studying in Canada, it seems possible. Okay, the next question, ma'am, can I pay my full loan amount? If yes, what is the procedure for Andhra Bank? Okay, so I'm assuming you have already taken a loan in the past and now you want to like fully clear it off. So Yashwant, yes, you can fully pay your loan. You just have to go to the branch, ask them what is the outstanding amount. The banker will give you like a very precise figure, that let's say it is 10 lakh 28,300 rupees or whatever. So exactly that amount, I generally advise people to deposit at least 500 extra, because what if the loan gets cleared the next day. So you deposit that amount in your savings account, give a letter to the bank saying that they should debit the entire amount and close the loan. Follow up after 2 days and ask them for the NOC of loan, NOC and loan closure letter. So that's the process of closing a loan. Okay. Next question, ma'am, below 20 lakh with no collateral loan, how many further years can we extend the repayment? If one did not get a job after graduation, like what if I need to do further education, can I extend the loan? Okay. So if you have taken a 20 lakh loan on a non-collateral basis, I'm assuming you are primarily going to take it from private banks or NBFCs. Now, mostly private banks and NBFCs would ask you to pay partial interest while you are studying. Okay, so you can keep making those very small payments like 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees max. The moratorium will be, as I mentioned, course duration plus 1 year. So if you are doing another 1 year course, after your the first education for which you have taken loan, by the time the second education gets over, your moratorium of the first one would be over, so you'll have to start repaying. Sometimes generally banks of course would not entertain this, like giving loan for another masters, but let's say if the first education was bachelor's and now you're going for masters, so what happens is that the moratorium of, let's say you have taken like 10 lakhs loan for your bachelor's, and then as soon as you finished your btech and now you want to go for a masters, so what happens is the moratorium period of your bachelor's loan gets extended. If you inform the bank that I'm going for a masters, the moratorium period gets extended and it gets aligned with the master's education. So what will happen, you did 4 years bachelor's, let's say, and then you went for a 2 years masters. The bachelor's loan was supposed to start in the 5th year, like 4 plus 1, but then because you went for masters, which is like 5th year and 6th year you went for your masters, now after masters you'll get like 6 months or 1 year whatever moratorium. That's after that the whole loan for bachelor's and masters would start all in one go. Yeah, so I hope I could explain you both the scenarios, that where the bank is not going to give you moratorium extension and where the bank is going to give you moratorium extension. So mostly public banks would be able to give you moratorium extension, but private banks generally try to stay away from that. Okay, going to the next question. Guys, don't put the same question and again, because I will be coming in the order and we would continue this session for 40 minutes. So let me cover everyone's question. So do not put your same question again and again. That's just a request. Okay. Hi ma'am, I have got a BCA 3-year degree working with an MNC for the last 5 years. Monthly salary is about 1 lakh. I want to go for masters to Canada. Can I get 40 lakh unsecured? My CIBIL is 700. So happy life. Yeah, so whatever information you have given me, based on that there is nothing in your profile which will deny, which will which is negative. So everything is very positive. Your work experience is great, your monthly salary is great, you can definitely get a loan. Now what I assume from your question is that you are trying to get a loan just by yourself without having a financial co-applicant. So in that case, let me tell you, that can be tried because your work experience is good. Banks would ask you to add your father or mother as a primary co-applicant, but evaluating their profile on financial grounds is something that can be adjusted because your profile is excellent. Okay. Next question, after my diploma can I go to UK for undergrad? That's not a loan question, Neer, so I won't be able to answer that here. Okay, the next question from Shubham Bajaj, how can you help me to get education loan? So Shubham, WeMakeScholars is a Government of India funded organization which helps students with scholarships and education loans. So how we can help you is, when you request a callback on our website, we assign you a financial officer. The financial officer takes care of, all your profile analysis, document checklist, guiding you on everything, and whatever issues you face in the bank, the financial officer would talk to the bank and get it resolved. So that's the support you get from WeMakeScholars, and all services are completely free. We also help you with negotiating your interest rate when it comes to private banks and NBFCs. Government banks have fixed interest rate, so that doesn't those are non-negotiable for everyone, but in private banks and NBFCs the interest rates can be negotiated by up to 2%. Yeah, so those are different things where WeMakeScholars comes into picture to help you with loan. And the best part is the services of WeMakeScholars, it doesn't end with loan sanction. Many students reach out to us when they are in the foreign country, they are facing any issues with disbursement, they are facing issues with repayment of their loan. WeMakeScholars is always there for you. So yeah, so it doesn't harm you in any way in availing the free service from WeMakeScholars. Okay, next question. is extended degree valid to get education loan for Canada? So Pankaj, what I'm assuming with extended degree, because I know in Canada it's a very common thing, people go for 1 year and then they add on another year, while they are in Canada, to make it like 2 years, so that their visa can be increased to 3 years. So I get your point on that. So if you're asking me whether you can get loan for the second degree which you are applying for once you are in Canada, yes, you can get a loan for that. Okay. uh, can someone get a loan of for doing engineering from a tier 2 or tier 3 college? If yes, how many days does it take to get that loan sanctioned? So Anshul, I'm assuming you are asking for loan to study in India. So see, if the college ranking is like bad, or if it is not a very great college, then you can get about 7.5 lakh unsecured loan from government banks. But if you want more than that, then we'll have to see whether your university is actually falling in the bank list or not. Generally for India, banks have about 400 universities in their list, for which they're ready to give you like about 20 lakhs of loan without any collateral. So that question is kind of incomplete, so I won't be able to answer you without I have information on your university and other factors. So you better request a call back on the website, and the financial officer will be able to evaluate your profile. Okay. Sujata Patel has asked this question. My son is doing bachelor's in engineering in Bangalore RV College, 4th year. Okay, so Sujata, your question is not clear. Um, okay, so I would just skip that. Okay, so next question. Okay, the questions are going up and down. In case I skip your question, then you can probably remind me. Okay. The next question is मोहम्मद सलीम, MBBS के लिए 30 लाख के लोन, एजुकेशन लोन ये कैसे मिलेगा? सो सलीम, अगर आपका स्टडीज़ इन इंडिया के लिए है तो आपको 50 लाख तक अनसिक्योर्ड मिल सकता है, अगर आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी अच्छी है तो। अगर आप फॉरेन के लिए पूछ रहे हैं तो MBBS इन कंट्रीज़ लाइक रशिया, यूक्रेन, उज़्बेकिस्तान, फिलीपींस, वेयर मोस्टली पीपल गो फॉर MBBS, उन कंट्रीज़ के लिए हम आपको हेल्प नहीं कर पाएंगे। तो अगर वो आपका क्वेश्चन है तो आई एम सॉरी, WeMakeScholars will not be able to help you. But if it is for India, feel free to talk to your financial officer. You can request a call back on our website. Okay, the next question is from Muntazir Hussain, who asked how long does it take to sanction a loan. I think I already answered this question at the start of this session because a couple of people asked me. So please, once the session is published, you can go back and watch that section. Okay. Nehanch asked, is it always compounding interest with unsecured loan from INCRED? So Nehanch, from all the private sector banks and NBFCs, the interest rates are always compounding. So only public sector banks offer you simple interest during moratorium. And after moratorium, even public sector banks offer you compounding interest only. So because see, all other loans like home loan, personal loan, car loan, all have like compounding loans. So what government banks do is, until you're doing your study period and you have like 1 year grace, 1 year of moratorium or grace period, so until then they consider your education loan differently and they charge you only simple interest. But once that period is over, like any other loan, it is a compounding loan. That's about government bank. But in private banks and NBFCs, right from day one, even while you are studying, your loan is going to be on a compound interest basis. Okay. This is a good question. Anyan Muttu Kumaran has asked. Currently, I'm paying off my undergrad education loan. Can I get education loan for masters? So yes, you can. The only thing banks would ask you is, once you have left the country for your masters, what's gonna happen to your undergrad loans repayment. So the monthly EMIs which are going, who is going to pay that? So if your co-applicant, or if your sibling or anyone is ready to sign and give a declaration to the bank that they would be able to pay the EMIs on your behalf when you're not in the country for your undergrad loan, you are sorted. Yeah, if you haven't started the repayment, in that case, even we can stop that repayment and extend the moratorium, which I mentioned already. Okay. Hi Damini, can we get the full loan amount of 7.5 lakh from Vidya Lakshmi scheme for the first year for a German master as blocked amount? So Rajesh, generally what happens is, see, banks would disburse the entire loan amount in portion of how many years of course duration you are having. So for example, if your course is like it's a 2-year course and you get like 7.5 lakh loan sanction, in that case bank will never give you that amount in one go. They would put that amount, they will divide that amount over the course duration. So for example, if so Germany, you're asking me, Germany masters is generally like 2 years. So in that case you would have to go for bank will only give you like 3.75 lakhs. So that's the clarity which I want to give you. Okay, the next question is, um, I am in class 11. Should I start applying in December 2023 or before for September 2024 intake in Canada? So Rishabh, if you're asking me regarding admission, so I won't be the right person to answer that question. But if you're asking me for loans, so if you're planning to go in like September 2024 to Canada, generally the Canada visa process is like about 3 months, is something on a safe ground. You should leave it. So if your intake starts in like, so Canada generally will start like August ending or September first week. So in that case, August, July and June will totally go in the visa process. So by May ending, you have to ensure that you have your loan sanctioned. So for that purpose, you should start for your loan process at least by April first week, because sometimes things do go haywire, and you might not have all the papers in place when the banks start asking for it. So make sure you're starting for your loan at least by April first week, and earlier than that you're always welcome. So you want to start in Feb or March, that's always great. Okay. um, Next question is, okay, so it's a lot of repeat questions, so guys, please don't post your comment again. I would definitely come to you. Ma'am, your financial officer said for bachelors there is less chance to get loan sanction without collateral. In some cases, we have to pay EMI or full interest after loan sanction. So, Gurpreet, that's very correct what the financial officer has told you. So, for bachelors, most of the unsecured lenders are not interested to give you loan without collateral. The reason being, bachelor's is a long degree, and the chances of job after master's is also way higher, because that's a specialized course than after undergrad. There are main two reasons. So one is like the course length. So because 4 years, 4.5 years, or approximately 5 years, you won't be paying anything to the bank when you're taking a loan. So that is one reason what puts off private banks and NBFCs from giving a UG loan. The second thing is, it is about the job which I mentioned. So that is the reason the private banks and NBFCs, even if they agree to give you a loan without collateral, they would ask you to pay EMI or at least the full interest right from month one, because they can't wait for 5 years. Uh, Okay, Yash Kumar asked, can I reapply for education loan after rejection? Yes, of course you can reapply, but it is not a very brilliant idea to go blindly and just apply for education loan. It is important for you to understand that what was the reason for your loan rejection. Get those things clarified in your profile and then reapply. Otherwise, it won't be of any use to you. So you can talk to your financial officer, because our team generally has like the full information from the bank on why the loan was rejected. So they would be able to tell you why the loan was rejected, so that you can apply and change that in your profile and apply again. Okay. Can we get loan for visa purposes? Is there a way for us to pay interest just on the money that we actually use? Um, Hussein, so the loan for visa purpose, if you are just looking at the loan sanction letter, so that is definitely possible for you to get. And your second question is, towards that, whether you have to pay interest on that or not. So actually, until unless you use the amount, you won't have to pay interest at all. But then there is one thing which I want you to remember is that if you take loan sanction from a bank and then you do not use at least 20% of that, banks have the right to take action against you and report to the credit bureaus also. So that can negatively affect your credit rating. So that is the reason you better avoid that thing. That and even if you have your own money and you don't really want to use the money from the bank, at least try to use 20% of the amount. Okay. Next question is from Jayant. Hello ma'am, my ITR is of 3.5 lakh. My wife's ITR is again 3.5 lakhs. Will I get 60 lakhs loan for masters in computer science for USA? Jayant, for masters in USA with 3.5 lakh, I think we can do it because USA is generally, the employability rates are very high and lenders are very, interested to give loans to people who are going to US. But of course, the value is on the lower end. Your spouse will be your co-applicant is what I'm assuming. Your ITR 3.5 doesn't hold any value because, you will be leaving the job if you're going to US. But then, yeah, with your wife as spouse, your spouse as co-applicant with 3.5 lakhs ITR, I think 60 lakhs is doable. Okay. Ma'am, I'm applying. Okay. Okay, a lot of thank you. Um, Thank you. What happens generally if I am not able to pay loan on the tenure period? Okay, so Yashwant, tenure can be extended. So loans restructuring it is called as. So if you're not able to repay your loan, but you're still consistent with, so for example, if your EMI is like 50,000, but then your capacity is only 40,000. So bank knows that with 50,000 EMI you were supposed to take like 15 years to repay, but now because you are paying only 40,000, you will definitely not be able to repay in 15 years. So be consistent, don't miss EMI. Even if you are not able to make the full EMI payment, what we can do is we can tell the bank to restructure your loan to try to give you 40,000 EMI and increase the tenure, because banks would definitely come to such grounds of mutual understanding rather than expecting a loan to go NPA or bad. Okay. Next question, can I get education loan after 3 months of taking admission in college? Yes, yes, you can get, even for the second year, even for the third year, even if you're in fourth year and you have not taken loan for the first 3 years, it can be done. So there is no such restriction. Okay. Next question from Sarita. I have done my MMS in finance and have 3 years of work experience in an MNC. Now I want to pursue masters in finance in Australia, but my BCom GPA is very low comparatively. BCom GPA is 4.4 and MS GPA is 7.37. Okay, Sarita, the thing is that GPAs matter more to the university than to the banks. Of course, banks do care about it, but I'm saying if you're able to get admission to a good university despite of your low GPAs, then we can definitely try to get you a loan. But then the way you are telling me, like it's 4.4 out of 10, I'm assuming. I'm not sure if you'll be able to secure an admission also. So try to get an admission first, but if you're able to get that, we will definitely make sure that you are getting your loan also. Okay. Next is, can I take education loan after 3 months? I think I answered that. Another question, मैम MBBS उज़्बेकिस्तान के लिए लोन मिल जाएगा? नहीं. I already told you in this session, Russia, Uzbekistan, Ukraine, Philippines, we are not doing those countries. I had taken 30 lakh loan and my tenure is 14 years. By the end of my tenure, it becomes 60 lakh. If I want to pay my loan before 14 years, like in 4 to 5 years, will the amount I have to pay become less? Of course. The loan interest actually is adding year by year. So if in your fourth year or if you're in your, fifth year you are clearing your loan, so what you are seeing that after 15 years the total repayable is 60 lakhs. If you're paying in 5 years, the total repayable will not be that high. Yeah, so the definitely the amount will be lesser. Okay, again my questions got shuffled. I'm sorry guys, it just keeps going up and down sometimes. Okay. I have job. Can co-applicant be self? I think you're asking that can co-applicant be self-employed. So see, self-employed co-applicants is not like a clear no or something. So it is just that salaried employees are preferred as co-applicant, but then it's not anything wrong to put a self-employed person as a co-applicant. Okay. Next question. I was asking that I'm having 1 year gap in mid of my graduation. Can I get education loan for Canada? If you have a gap um, in your graduation or after your graduation, okay, so let's assume the way you have written is in the middle of your graduation. So I'm assuming that you had backlogs, you completed your 4 year of studies in 5 years, or 3 years of studies in 4 years. So you have taken one extra year to repay your complete your graduation. In that case, Pankaj, banks are going to have concerns with this. They are going to ask you a lot of questions around it, but you should be able to justify it. I mean, if you're able to justify that, okay, I thought of taking an year off and doing an internship, or I had some medical issues, and you have the required proofs, in that case definitely yes, we can try convincing the bank. I've done that like for a few cases. Okay. mm, okay, same questions, same question. Okay, so Naveen has asked the same question which I was just discussing. He said, I have 1 year gap after completing my undergrad in BCom. After I look after my family business, how should I answer to visa officer about this gap? Okay, Naveen, I might not be the right person to guide you on what you should answer the visa person, but I think if you're confident enough and you give him the insights why you decided to work in your family business, what were the key learnings you had, and why it is going to help you in your masters, I'm sure they will be able to answer. They would be able to get convinced on that. Okay, next question. Please tell about the HEST scholarship results date. So HEST scholarship applications are still under processing. You should be able to get your results by January, sometime in Jan. I won't be able to commit anything on that. Without admit letter, can we get a pre-approved loan? So yes, for certain, for primarily for US, where you have like GRE and all. So if you have written your GRE and you have not got your admit yet, the loan can be approved basis your GRE score. Okay. Ma'am, I'm Shubham. In 2020, I did my 12th. I leave to study for 2 years as my financial, and now I want to apply for loan of 5 lakh, but no one will contact me after applying. Shubham, I already answered you. You will get a call back, okay? Don't, if you're like applying for India, there are almost 1400 applications in backlog what we have. We are trying to get that cleared very soon. If it is for abroad, our backlog is much lesser, but for India the backlog, because the number of applications we get for domestic education is much higher, so just have a little patience. uh, can I get loan leaving 2 years? Now I want to restart my studies. Shubham, your question is not clear. Please try to put it once again. Vivek, you are asking me about secured loan for Canada without strong financial co-applicant. So yes, it is definitely possible. So in secured loan, if your financial co-applicant is not very strong, it is definitely acceptable. But for unsecured loan, having a strong financial co-applicant becomes like an indispensable thing if you're going to like a mediocre university. Okay. Um, Nihansh, you have asked me again your follow-up question on compounding interest. So yes, most of the lenders would be doing monthly compounding instead of annual compounding. Okay. For less income domestic students, how can government support them for, okay, not my type of question. Do private bank charge me compound interest? Anshul, I have already answered that. Um, I would like to, now take questions from, people who are putting their first questions. So try to, come up with new questions. I think same people are asking follow-up question. But, even others, please try to, put certain questions. Um, okay. मैम अगर मैं I apply for 10 lakh loan, can I get full amount in one shot, or will it be divided in years? Gurpreet, I already answered that. If your course duration is more than 1 year, the bank is going to divide that across. Okay. I think mostly are repeated questions. We are already done with like 40 minutes. I would take up a few more questions before we end this session. um Okay, someone is asking me, how are you? Utkarsh, I'm good. Thank you so much. Um, I'm in final year of my MSc Applied Mathematics. Any suggestion to get jobs in USA? Not the right place to put your questions. Okay. Hi Damini, will there be an issue in visa processing if I have unsecured loan for Australia? Yes, actually Australian Embassy prefers that you go for a secured loan. Unsecured loan can be an issue when it comes to Australia. Okay, next question. Okay, my father age is 64. Who will be my guarantor for my education loan? Rental income is the only source of income. IT return filed is of 10 lakhs. Loan amount is 30 lakhs. It's a secured loan. Taranjit, I think we can try with that. 64 age, generally banks have the cutoff that, above 55, they start making an issue that, the co-applicant is too old and this, that. But I think we can manage them with age 64. Don't worry, try. Talk to your financial officer. Yeah. Okay, next question. Is co-applicant required for foreign education loan, and yes, if yes, what is the limit for the loan without co-applicant? Aryan, in every education loan in India, the primary co-applicant is required for sure, and primary co-applicant is generally your father or mother. Now, if you're asking me financial co-applicant, if your parents are not having any income and you want to, not if you do not want to ask anyone else in your family for, support with the for being a financial co-applicant, in that case, you have to get into a top university. So for like top 200 to 50 universities around the world, so we have like an internal list made on that with different banks. So what we do is for those 200 to 50 universities under our Elite Scholars initiative, we do not require a financial co-applicant. So Elite Scholars is a special initiative of WeMakeScholars, wherein the loans are processed for like students who are going to like top 50 universities globally. So in that product we cover countries like US, UK, Canada, Germany. So for those universities, if any student is getting into those kind of top universities, we can eliminate completely the requirement of a financial co-applicant. Okay. So just I'm gonna take one last question and close the session after that. So Anvesh, your question is the last one which I have picked up. Can I get a loan without co-applicant? I think it's the same question which Aryan had asked. So yes, so primary co-applicant is required. Financial co-applicant can be eliminated if you're going to a top universities. So financial co-applicant, okay, Anvesh, you're asking a follow-up question. Let me just put that. So now financial co-applicant is someone who should be filing an ITR for at least 2 years, and they should have their income source should be defined, not like some cash income and the company is unrecognized. And even if they are self-employed, then some business proof is mandatory to show that from where the money is coming for your financial co-applicant. So that's it, guys. I think most of the questions were, I'll just summarize. I think most of the questions were around co-applicant requirements. So I think in the last, when I was answering Aryan's question, I think I clarified that you can get a loan without a financial co-applicant if you're going to a very top university, but primary co-applicant is something which is mandatory in all loans. And the others, I think questions were around like whether you can get an unsecured loan for Australia. So I mentioned that Australian embassy doesn't encourage unsecured loan. Undergrad, I think someone asked the question about undergrad. So there I answered that for undergrad it is difficult to get an unsecured loan. Even if you are able to get you an unsecured loan, you would have to probably pay full EMI or full simple interest during your study period. So I think that's it. We can conclude this session here. Thank you so much for joining us, and do subscribe to our channel, and I'll try doing this live session twice in a month, because I'm sure people have a lot of questions which they want to ask directly to me and hear from me. So, and I will try making some fresh videos also answering new questions which I'm coming across. So thank you so much for joining. Do like this video and subscribe to our channel. Bye bye for now.